Please?
For which movie?
Punch me in the face if I was up there saying some stupid what an investment.
No, I've been getting a lot of questions about, like, how do I feel? I feel amazing.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have.
Please?
For which movie?
No, I've been getting a lot of questions about, like, how do I feel? I feel amazing.
She's just not stable.
Disney. The name conjures images of fairy tale magic, timeless classics, and guaranteed box office gold. But lately, even the House of Mouse seems to be stumbling. And no project embodies this precarious moment more than the upcoming live-action remake of Snow White. What was once seen as a surefire hit, another nostalgic triumph in Disney's crown, has morphed into a PR nightmare, a swirling vortex of controversy threatening to engulf the film before it even reaches theaters. The epicenter of this storm? Rachel Zegler, the young actress cast as Snow White, whose outspoken views on modernizing the fairy tale have ignited a furious online debate. But now, just when you thought the story couldn't get any more dramatic, a new voice enters the fray, promising to pull back the curtain on the chaos. Rachel Zegler's sister has emerged from the shadows, breaking her silence to deliver what she claims is an explosive insider account of a Disney meltdown. Forget carefully crafted press releases and sanitized celebrity narratives. The sisters' perspective paints a raw, unfiltered picture of creative clashes, executive panic, and the very real human cost of a fairy tale gone awry. This isn't just about a movie anymore. It's a high-stakes Hollywood drama, a cautionary tale unfolding in real time, and the sister is here to tell it like it is. For any young actress, especially one on the cusp of major stardom, landing the lead role in a Disney live-action remake is akin to winning the lottery. And for Rachel Zegler, a rising talent already making waves, being cast as Snow White must have felt like the ultimate fairy tale come true. Snow White, the original Disney princess, the cornerstone of the animation empire, a character woven into the fabric of popular culture for generations, to embody her was to step into legend. According to her sister, Rachel was initially beyond thrilled, genuinely excited by the prospect of bringing this iconic character to a new generation. She envisioned a Snow White for the 2000s, a heroine who resonated with contemporary values, a princess who wasn't just waiting for a prince to rescue her. However, this initial euphoria soon began to dissipate as creative differences emerged, subtle at first, but quickly escalating. Whispers began to circulate about Rachel's vision for modernizing Snow White, a vision that, while well-intentioned, seemed to clash with the deeply ingrained expectations of Disney purists and perhaps even some studio executives. These weren't just minor tweaks to costumes or set design, they were fundamental shifts in the narrative core, in the very essence of what Snow White meant to millions. And as these differences began to surface, the first hairline cracks appeared in what was supposed to be a seamless, magical production. The digital age amplifies everything, and Rachel Zegler's desire to bring Snow White into the 21st century quickly became a lightning rod in the online sphere. In interviews and on social media, she spoke candidly about her perspective, expressing a desire to move away from what she perceived as outdated tropes. She questioned the traditional romance, the damsel in distress narrative, and the very necessity of a prince as the ultimate savior. While Rachel likely saw this as empowering and progressive, a significant segment of the internet, particularly devoted Disney fans, reacted with fierce, almost visceral opposition. They felt that she was not just updating, but actively disrespecting the cherished 1937 animated film, a cinematic treasure they held sacred. The backlash was immediate and intense. Social media platforms became battlegrounds, with hashtags both supporting and condemning Rachel trending globally. Online forums buzzed with outrage, petitions were launched, and the comment sections of every article and video related to the remake became toxic war zones. Disney, accustomed to controlling the narrative and basking in positive pre-release buzz, watched in growing alarm as this online firestorm raged out of control. Executives, initially perhaps dismissive of online chatter, began to understand the gravity of the situation. The studio, built on nostalgia and beloved characters, was suddenly facing the wrath of its own devoted fanbase, and the carefully constructed promotional campaign threatened to implode before it even truly began. Nervousness turned to palpable anxiety as the studio realized they had a full-blown PR crisis on their hands. Faced with a rapidly escalating PR disaster, Disney, a corporation known for its meticulous brand management, reportedly went into damage control mode. According to Rachel Zegler's sister, the studio's strategy was stark and arguably drastic. Silence the source of the controversy. Planned promotional appearances featuring Rachel, once considered essential for building hype, were quietly, then not so quietly, scrapped. High-profile talk show slots vanished from schedules. Magazine cover shoots were canceled, and even anticipated appearances at Disney's own theme parks, usually prime promotional opportunities, were abruptly removed from the itinerary. Rachel, who had envisioned the standard star-making promotional blitz, suddenly found herself relegated to the sidelines, her voice effectively muted by the very studio that had cast her. This sudden shift in strategy, this apparent silencing of the film's lead actress, only served to amplify the drama and fuel further speculation. Behind the scenes, the sister describes a sense of meltdown within Disney's executive ranks. Urgent meetings were convened, high-level discussions took place, and a palpable atmosphere of panic permeated the usually polished corporate environment. The studio, facing the prospect of a major financial and reputational hit, was desperately trying to contain the damage, to regain control of the narrative, and to somehow salvage the increasingly precarious Snow White project. But by silencing their star, were they inadvertently admitting that the controversy was indeed valid, that the film itself was in trouble? The very act of damage control seemed to backfire, creating an even deeper sense of unease and suspicion surrounding the remake. In the midst of this swirling vortex of online outrage and studio maneuvering, a new and unexpected voice emerged: Rachel Zegler's sister. In a move that is both rare and revealing, she chose to step into the public arena, breaking the family's silence, to offer a defense of her sibling and to attempt to clarify the increasingly distorted narrative. Her motivations were clear: to protect Rachel from what she perceived as unfair attacks, to humanize the actress behind the headlines, and to provide a different, more nuanced perspective on the controversy. The sister's intervention is significant precisely because it is so unusual. Family members of celebrities rarely wade into public disputes, especially those involving major studios and online firestorms. Her decision to speak out underscores the depth of the family's concern and the intensity of the pressure they were feeling. She paints a picture of Rachel as a young woman caught in a maelstrom not entirely of her own making, her words and intentions twisted and amplified by the relentless engine of the internet. The sister emphasizes Rachel's genuine passion for the project, her initial excitement about the role, and the disheartening impact of the escalating negativity on her well-being and on the entire family. This is not just about a movie's marketing campaign gone wrong. It's about a family grappling with the harsh realities of Hollywood, the unforgiving nature of online fandom, and the very human cost of a fairy tale that has taken a decidedly dark turn. The sister's voice becomes a plea for understanding, a call for empathy, and a reminder that behind every celebrity controversy, there are real people navigating complex and often painful situations. The controversy surrounding Snow White extends beyond mere fan reactions and studio damage control. Whispers began to circulate, fueled by industry insiders and online speculation, about alleged tension between Rachel Zegler and her co-star, the established Hollywood powerhouse Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen. Creative differences on set, differing acting styles, and perhaps even contrasting personalities. The sister hints at a clash of visions, a lack of synergy between the two leads that further complicated an already fraught production environment. While neither actress may have intentionally sought conflict, the sister suggests that friction arose organically, a natural consequence of differing artistic approaches and the immense pressure cooker of a high-stakes Disney production. And if creative tensions weren't enough, the specter of legal action began to loom large. The sister alludes to the possibility of a breach of contract claim, suggesting that Rachel felt her agreement with Disney guaranteed a robust promotional schedule, appearances that were now systematically being canceled. The threat of litigation adds a layer of serious financial and reputational risk to the already troubled project. A legal battle with its own Snow White star would be a PR disaster of epic proportions for Disney, further damaging the film's already tarnished image. Beyond the immediate film, the controversy and its fallout pose significant career risks for Rachel Zegler. In the unforgiving world of Hollywood, reputations are fragile, and controversies can linger. impacting future casting opportunities. The sister expresses concern that producers and studios might become hesitant to cast Rachel, fearing that she has become synonymous with controversy, a potential box office poison, as some industry insiders might whisper. The dream role that was supposed to catapult Rachel to superstardom now threatens to become a career albatross, a cautionary tale of how quickly